In a world where civilization had crumbled under the weight of its own excess, the remnants of humanity clung to survival in a desolate wasteland. Buildings, once symbols of progress, lay in ruins. Nature, unchecked, began to reclaim its dominion over the broken cities. In this grim world, orphan children became the new inheritors of a fractured society. Among them was a boy named Eli. He had been just 7 when the world as he knew it fell apart. His parents, once hopeful leaders in a thriving metropolis, were lost to the chaos that swept the world. Eli survived by scavenging, his days spent foraging in the rubble of his past life. He was a small, wiry child with a sharp mind and nimble fingers, skills that kept him alive in a world where hope was as scarce as resources. One day, while exploring the ruins of what used to be a high school, Eli stumbled upon a group of kids huddled together for warmth. They were a ragtag bunch, each with their own unique skills and stories. There was Mira, a fierce girl with a knack for crafting weapons from scrap metal; Jonas, who could read the stars and navigate the wasteland with ease; Lena, whose medical knowledge, though rudimentary, saved lives on more than one occasion; and Theo, who had a natural talent for bartering and negotiating with other groups. Eli's arrival was met with wariness, but his skills quickly earned their respect. He could repair electronics, an invaluable asset in a world where the few remaining functional devices were worth their weight in gold. As time passed, the group formed a tight-knit family, with Eli and Mira growing particularly close. Myra's initial distrust of Eli melted away as she saw his dedication to their collective survival. Her sharp eyes, dark hair, and fierce determination soon became the focus of Eli's growing affection. In the years that followed, the group faced numerous challenges. Fierce gangs roamed the wasteland, each one more ruthless than the last. The survivors had to defend their territory and fight for resources. Eli and Myra's bond grew stronger through these trials. Their skills complemented each other perfectly. Eli's technological prowess and Myra's weaponry created a formidable team. They also shared dreams of a better world, even if it seemed like a distant fantasy. As the group reached their 20s, they had managed to carve out a relatively safe enclave within the ruins of an old university. Here, they began to rebuild a semblance of civilization. They constructed shelters, grew crops, and even started teaching the younger children they had taken in. Life was far from easy, but it was their life, and they cherished every small victory. The battles with gangs continued, each conflict more dangerous than the last. Some of their companions fell in these fights, sacrifices that weighed heavily on their hearts. Jonas was lost in a skirmish with a particularly brutal gang, his navigational skills and star maps buried with him. Lena succumbed to a fever after treating countless wounds, her medical expertise not enough to save her. Each loss was a blow, but the remaining members of the group pressed on, fueled by the memories of those who had fallen and by their shared vision of a future rebuilt from the ashes. Eli and Mira, now deeply in love, carried the weight of leadership and hope. Their bond was unshakable, forged in the fires of adversity. They knew that their fight was not just for survival, but for the possibility of a future where children would grow up without fear. Their love was a beacon in the darkness, a promise of what humanity could become. Years passed, and the society they had fought so hard to build began to flourish. Their enclave grew into a small city, a sanctuary amidst the wasteland. Eli and Mira, now in their 30s, had become symbols of resilience and hope.